Hello, everyone, and welcome to a fantastic episode of Was That in Good Taste presents Behind the Bar. We have some really interesting cocktails and spirits to show you tonight, but first, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Chandler, and I'm going to be one of your hosts, and with me, as always, is the other one of your hosts.
Just call me James.
And we got a very fun episode. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That's how you get caught up on all the other super fun, amazing, fantastical episodes that we do.
You mean like the Tasties?
The taste, that was one of the funnest ones yet.
You mean like the tooth, the whole tooth and nothing but the tooth?
That is exactly what I'm talking about.
You mean like Hyper Pop?
That was oh man, and here we are just taking a little stroll down memory lane.
Oh yeah, this feels so good. This is an absolute kind of bar rewind.
I guess we should clarify for the first time, long time listeners.
Oh yeah.
Behind the Bar is going to be different from our average Was That in Good Taste episode in that it's just a slightly shortened version where we focus primarily on the thing we're drinking and highlighting the spirit that is featured within it.
Oh.
And today we have Fourth Have Spirits. How do you pronounce that? Do you put the T and the H together?
I think it's meant to be Fourth Ave.
Is Fourth Ave?
It's Fourth Ave, but they made it fancy.
But it's not like Fourth Ave.
Marysville and Amaro by Fourth Ave Spirits. But
Fourth Ave.
it's Fourth Avenue, but
kinda-
put together.
I like Fourth Ave.
Fourth Ave?
Anyway, they're a New York-based spirits, Amaros, and botanicals kind of company. They're actually out of the Pfizer building in Flatiron.
Oh, that's terrible.
Is that bad? What's?
Pfizer.
Oh, wait. You mean the ones who gave us all
The ones who gave us COVID. Kidding.
the ones who gave us vaccines for
Kidding.
free?
Yeah.
But they gave us free stuff.
Oh, they did. Did they?
All it took was an entire major pandemic in order for us to get free health care. But hey, I'll lick a gift horse in the mouth.
I can't even.
Do you know how long it took me to realize that it says you don't look a gift horse in the mouth versus you don't lick a gift horse in the mouth?
What the fuck are you? No, it's not. It's you don't lick a gift horse in the mouth because the quality of the teeth. We talked about this during the tooth episode. You're messing with me. It's because the teeth are bad and you don't look in the mouth because it's a gift horse. Who cares if the teeth are bad if the horse is not healthy because it's free?
That's what I'm saying. It took me a long time to realize it was look and not lick.
You thought it was lick?
I thought we were out here tongue kissing gift horses.
So you ever lick a gift horse in the mouth? Pretty salty.
No one's ever gifted me a horse.
Oh, well.
I've never had the opportunity. Any hoosery. This is going to be one of the flagship spirits for Fourth Ave Spirits. They are a botanicals kind of company. They don't really have too much by the way of like just straight distilled spirits. They do have a gin that we have yet to try, but it does have a very beautiful aesthetic about it. And a little bit about Fourth Ave. Legend has it is while the plague ravaged Europe in the 15th century, a botanist named Richard Forthave, so it's not Fourth Ave.
Oh my God. It's Forthave?
It's just a dude's name. So
Forthave.
It's whatever the fuck these 1500th century people said it like. This dude created a popular herbal tonic as protection against the plague. And we all saw how great that worked out for him, just raking in millions over bodies and bodies. And at Fourth Ave Spirits, we believe in crafting spirits that are natural and delicious. We look towards history for inspiration for every one of our botanical spirits and approach every aspect of our production and supply chain with care. How
pinky out.
How pleasant, how pedantic.
It has the plague doctor. That's a plague doctor.
That
right?
is a plague doctor.
That's a plague doctor.
Honestly, kind of hot. Kind of draws in the appeal of how interesting. Like
if you're dealing with people with consumption, that's what you have to do.
I am engaged. I thought it was interesting, and I thought, oh, this is pretty neat. And it's made in New York. How neat is that? We love
that because we live in New York. You wouldn't know that.
We love featuring local stuff. So this is the Mariciel Amaro, based on the secret recipe of 4 medieval thieves. They were caught stealing from plague victims in Maricel. In exchange for clemency, they revealed their secret concoction with notes of cinnamon, eucalyptus, and honey.
Wait. What? They were stealing from them?
They were stealing
Wait.
from...
The plague doctors were stealing from people who were ill.
No, these were just 4 thieves who were caught stealing from plague victims. I'm guessing they were just looting corpses.
Okay, that makes sense.
They were just, hey, look, if you've ever played any sort of like fantasy role-playing game, if there's one thing you need to be doing, it's looting corpses. I honestly don't even think that's thievery.
I mean, you can't do anything with it. What are you, a capitalist?
Hey, you're not taking it with you. Does that mean that like ancient Egyptians were capitalists?
Uber capitalists. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just bury myself with all of my riches so that nobody else can have it.
No wonder they were the first ones to come up with pyramid schemes.
Oh, fuck. Applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Chandler Phillips, your comedian.
I thought you were going to give me the a less congratulatory drop for that.
No, you were I can boo you. I can boo you.
Don't do it. Don't.
Hey.
So yeah, with notes of cinnamon, eucalyptus, and honey, this Amaro can be enjoyed neat or in a variety of cocktails.
Wait, cocktails?
Cocktails.
Like this one in front of us?
And what?
Return? A bar rewind? Because if I remember correctly, we did a highlight paper planes episode. I don't quite remember what we talked about. It wasn't just the paper plane. We spoke about something else. I don't remember. But I remember that it wasn't as good as this. I remember we didn't have all the ingredients, so we did what we normally do, which is we kind of cobble it together. This time, we have all the ingredients. Bourbon, Aperol,
Yeah.
Amaro, lemon juice. Simple, but elevated.
Typically, it calls for a very specific Amaro, Amaro Nonino. And this paper plane cocktail was developed by a person in New York.
Wasn't everything?
It's where it was created in 2008. 2020 it was added to the International Bartenders Association of official new drinks, and it is credited with being created by Sam Ross and Sasha Petransky.
Oh, I hate having to give people credit.
They created the original paper plane as a favor for their former colleague, Toby Maloney. And it was first served at the bar, the Violet Hour.
Were we talking about MIA? I could have sworn we were talking about MIA last time.
It does. It did have a link to that. It's says the name was inspired by MIA's track Paper Planes.
Oh shit.
And he listened to it often while creating said drink.
You think they feel bad because MIA, who, if you ever listen to the song, how's it go?
I fly like paper, getting high like planes. If you catch me on the corner, all the visas in my name. When you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if we wait.
Yeah, she sucks now.
Sometimes I get sitting on planes. Every step I get, I'm chuffing 9 gain. Everyone's a winner, we make it all day. Bonafide hustler taking my name.
Oh, God.
All I want to do is psh, 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 and a cling and take your money.
Oh. I hate these glasses. All I want to do is
psh, 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 psh.
Oh, my God. Well,
and a cling take your money.
I saw her live.
Pirate skulls and bones, sticks and stones and weed
Oh
and
my
bones.
god.
I think we did an episode about
MIA.
cannabis.
I think it was like that because it was called Highlight Paper Planes.
Yeah.
Well, now we're doing the. Okay, this is good.
This is a delicious
I'll be honest.
cocktail.
We are we may be 2 in plus some. This is delicious, delectable. It's somewhat earthy. It's citrusy. It's fresh. It's grounded. It's boozy. It's exactly an even cocktail. Something easy to make. 1.5 ounces of Amaro, 1.5 ounces of Aperol, 1.5 ounces of bourbon, and 1.5 ounces of lemon juice. Simple, even.
Wait, it's an even 1 part, 1 part, 1 part?
Yeah.
God
Yeah, it's
damn.
even. It's even. That's why you were like,
And you filled it right to like these. You say you hate these glasses. It filled right to the top of these glasses.
that's why I suggested it because I knew it was going to be that much.
This is kind of the perfect glass,
Because I took a measuring cup and I measured the glass.
regardless of the silly flared base of this glass, which actually kind of gives it a little bit of
No,
stability.
this is dumb. I don't know how you can see this, but the stem is 1.1 centimeters. You can't hold the stem. You have
Why
to
are you
hold
trying
the
to hold
Victorian
the
skirt. I'm sorry. I'm holding it wrong. Like this.
Oh, there you go.
Because if you hold it from the top, it makes the drink cold.
No, that's
gotta-
fancy.
You got it like that.
That's how you figured it out. God, and that's how you keep the maximum amount of body temperature away from your coupe drink, because this really is just
It's like Dos Equis.
yeah, it's designed.
Stupidly. I
I-
got some Target. Okay. I feel like the way when Target makes glasses, they source it from a place that's like, we have a glass top and a bottom thing, and they just threw it together because what the fuck is this? Okay, I'm done complaining about the
I want to
glass.
rewind a little bit to the Fourth Ave story
Okay.
of just like, okay, there were 4 guys who got caught for basically
Does
grave
it say
rob-
guys here? Look at you gendering them. Oh my god.
I'm
4 people.
You know, I mean the gender neutral term of guys, like when the electric company is like, "Hey, you guys,"
You gotta pull Obama. 4 folks. The 4 folks who were robbing people when they were plague doctors.
When you say folks, do you imply an X?
No. Well, I do if you're Latinx. Then that's like folks. If you're black, it's folks.
That's Latina has a gender neutral term that isn't Latinx.
I do know that.
It's Latine
I do know that.
with just an E.
Oh, I know. Don't
Are
get
you,
me.
Are you
listen,
aware of this?
Talk to Latin people.
Are
They like to
you
argue.
aware of this?
I'm not part of the diaspora. Argue amongst yourselves.
Look, as the foremost authority on on the Spanish language,
This guy's
and
the excerpt.
also, if there's anyone who's an authority and arbiter of what everyone should be saying and what is correct, I
Buenos dias.
have an opinion.
¿Cómo está usted?
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
You're gonna say that. So they were robbing people. Isn't that weird?
But they weren't robbing people. They were robbing corpses.
They were court stealing from plague victims. I like the way they name it. They don't try to soften it. They say plague victims. It's like the people were victimized by the plague. The plague did things to them. They were victimized and then exchanged for clemency. So the people were doing bad things.
Well, they got caught. Look, you're going to tell me how many people do you think? Okay, wait. Now, could a plague victim be like anyone who was just
Played Civ 7.
And-
The plague takes you. Your life goes down a little bit. You're still alive. You're like sitting there coughing.
But like, is this anyone who was like maybe took an L from the plague but didn't necessarily die?
Oh my god! It's like a plague
is-
victim, just slightly just like you caught the plague. Now you have a mild cough. Somebody just breaks into your house, kicks down the door. Give me your stuff. I'll give you the recipe for
Give
my
me all-
secret tonic.
No. They're like, give me all your botanicals. And you're like, what are you going to do with that? And you're like, I can't tell you. It's a secret tonic. That's even worse. Someone's taking all of your shit and they're just like, I'm gonna make money off of it.
Take down the club. Put down the club. Put down the long stick that's slightly rounded. I'll give you everything that I have. Because the rooms are literally nothing but like stone furniture.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have anything.
They can be like, I'm gonna burn
Oh my
down
God,
your
am
house.
I classist against people who died from the plague?
Are you? Am I classist against people from the 1500s?
Where's Marisval? I don't even know where that is.
Paris?
Oh, well, never mind.
Maricel.
Marcel. Oh, well. That is strange.
It's not Paris, but it's like it's some
Patty?
sort. It feels French.
I like how you.
It's all French to me.
Fucking God, you don't even fucking know. You don't even know where it's from. French though, right?
Okay.
Don't Ethan. Look, he's gonna. Oh, he's
I'm gonna
gonna
look
use
it
the
up.
Internet. Marcel Amaro is based on the ancient recipe of 4 medieval thieves who were caught. Could you imagine being a person who's like dying?
Bitch, I was so right.
You were. Imagine
so fucking
imagine
right.
perishing. Imagine that you're perishing, right? And you've perished, and somebody comes to steal from you, and somebody gives away your recipe because they stole it, and then 200 years in the future, some guys are on a fucking podcast with a picture of Klaus, a cocktail, and Ricky Spanish behind you while they drink something made from your namesake, probably butchered, but delicious.
Also, how did we keep track of what this recipe? What I want to know. I want to talk to the people at Fourth Ave.
I bet you they made it up.
How do they know?
Okay, how much do you think that?
How do they know?
Okay, I think that we have this. This is like a tangent, but we live in a weird era of information, and at a certain point where we started keeping really good records and stuff, we would know. But I feel like it's unlikely. I feel like somebody one time had a tonic, and then they just decided, and they bought the brand, and this is what it is. But guess what? It's fucking delicious. It's delicious in the cocktail. How do you feel about the paper plane?
Oh, I fucking love a paper.
Yeah, you can tell.
I
because
love a paper plane. Period. Like unchanged, a paper plane. I am on board. And this just kind of gives it a certain little zing. I feel like the rhubarb and eucalyptus really shine through.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like we tried the wood.
Oh shit.
The standard Wormwood Distillery
Yeah,
Amaro. They had a lot of things going on, but the sweetness and the menthol wasn't as balanced with the eucalyptus and stuff.
And rhubarb, sweet, earthy, right? You've ever had rhubarb pie? It kind of tastes like beets, but like
rhubarb.
good.
I'm a fan of rhubarb.
Isn't rhubarb like, it tastes like beets, but sweet? Like rhubarb has like this earthy, kind of partially sour, but also it's very saccharine in how sweet it is. That's kind of elevating what it is. This, obviously, you can tell because this came here closed. It came here full. And now there's less than a third left.
Do you know that rhubarb is actually short for urethra barbara?
I did not know that. Maybe I should shove one up my urethra one day. No, I'm never going to do that.
Well, just make sure you do it with the roots and not with the leaves because the leaves can be toxic to people.
That's hot. One of the things that we do, in case you're new here, when we invite you behind the bar, it's like friends. We're inviting you behind the bar with us.
Like Friends, the camaraderie, or Friends, the TV show?
A little bit of both. You were
Because my name's Chandler.
Oh my God. Well, you know what happened to him. We've had this discussion before, right? Where one of the big things about this is like we're people at a bar talking. You know, you worked at a bar. You work at a bar. You know, you make cocktails. You have fun. You talk about the stuff that's happening. I feel like we need to add this to the menu. I feel like I'm not seeing a paper plane highlighted enough, and mainly because I think what's in it, a lot of people, when they're reading a cocktail menu, they like to see gin, something, and it could be a tonic, or it could be something else. Then it's like an old fashioned, and then it's like whiskey, maybe. But we went to a cocktail bar the other day.
We did.
And they had a whiskey drink with Amaro. I think that was what I had, right? That was the not Ginny on the block, the main character of Sex and the City. Carrie on the block. No, it's Carrie on the. Oh yeah, it is Miranda though. It was a Carrie on the block which I don't remember all the ingredients, but I remember it being bourbon and Aperol
Yeah.
inside of like a cosmopolitan kind of glass. And this is the kind of combination that is not rare, because I have a friend who lives in San Francisco who's a member of like a secret whiskey bar, and she just made a video about how she
secret
doesn't
whiskey
like. She said we can go if we visit her, so we have to go. She said I can visit, but you can come. I know. You can
I'm
come.
your +1.
Yeah. Comrades. She's a comrade, so she's down with it. Pineapple.
Vestrofu.
Is pineapple and whiskey.
That's Russian, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She doesn't really like pineapple, but when you go to this kind of bar, you know what it's like. You go to those kind of bars, they're like, oh, I'll make you something. They made her a cocktail, and in it was lime juice, whiskey, pineapple juice, and something else. And I can't quite remember what it is. I did save the video.
Okay.
And she was like floored. But the reality is that citrus and whiskey go well together. The reason an old fashioned is amazing is because if you put whiskey in the glass,
Hot take.
I mean, for some people, but like whiskey, simple syrup to help lighten it, the orange to help open it up, but also to add that sweetness. There's a reason why people order an old fashioned in the Midwest, where it's seltzer water and it's like a slightly muddled orange and whiskey with ice, because the citrus.
Here's the thing. I don't think that's not a good cocktail.
It's not old fashioned.
I think that's a fantastic cocktail, and I'd be eager to try it. I just think to call it an old fashioned is like calling it's to call Kendrick just rap.
Well, you just showed how your internalized bias is, because Kendrick is just rap. And that's important.
Wow.
And that's important because
rap.
Because Kendrick is just rap. You wouldn't think he's just rap. I'm not even trying to be, but when you say Kendrick is just rap, this is a good example for the cocktail, right? When you say Kendrick is just rap, that actually reflects a little bit how much you don't know about hip hop, because all of that is rap. Just like an old fashioned is something that's made in bars. The people in those bars didn't have fresh oranges. Bro, where the fuck do you get oranges from? Oranges don't exist everywhere. Oranges require particular climate. They literally spray the orange. They spray the oranges with clay. Yes, they do.
No. Wait a minute.
Okay.
You're talking about a place that uses muddled orange slice. If you have muddled orange, you
but this is
have
important.
orange peel.
Because we had rock and rye, right?
Yeah.
What's a rock and rye?
A rock and rye is rock candy, rye whiskey, and maybe some orange bitters.
what is
if
that?
you're lucky?
What is that?
That
is somebody who's at a bar who wants to drink, and they go, I want something, I want it sweet. They didn't really have simple syrup, so they took something that was common. I think it's in the spirit of an old fashioned, as long as the only ingredients are whiskey, something to do with orange, sugar, and I don't mind the soda water, even though that's not how I prepare it, because that's the kind of thing that you would get. That's not the elevated. That's not taking a peeler and slicing the orange skin just above the pith.
If you are muddling a fruit, that is a smash. That is no longer an old fashioned. You can have a whiskey smash.
You think they were doing that back in the day?
Yeah.
You think that back in the day that okay, even if
No. Here's what I think they were doing back in the day. I think they had maybe a sugar cube or some sort of sweetener, and they had Angostura bitters, because
old as shit.
Angostura is old as
1700s,
shit.
right? It's like 1750s.
Angostura is old as shit.
Mhm.
And it was such a proprietary thing to have Angostura, but like you would have that, or you would have you would need a bitters. You wouldn't just mash. Like if you're just mashing, you're just fucking.
I think that you're thinking
mashing it. That's a smash.
Look at this guy here.
That's
this
a
guy,
muddling.
This guy here.
That's
He
just
thinks
by
he would be in the north.
definition
This
it's
guy
a
would be in the
different
South.
thing. It's not that it's not good. I think it's still good.
Okay.
It's just a different thing.
Okay. You know what it's time for?
Yeah.
We've never done this. It's time to have a proper, full, old-fashioned recipe. I'm not sure, but we should do an old-fashioned episode where we do maybe more than one. You know what you could do? Let us know in the comment section below if we should actually have an old-fashioned battle-off. Because I have a feeling
I got a feeling
that
Ooh.
with a little research, you will find water in old-fashions because I've already checked it.
You'll find water. You won't find muddling fruit that goes bad.
Why are you gonna muddle me for it? Look at this guy.
But-
Homophobic, transphobic, talking about muddling fruit. What you want to do to fruit? Why you gotta call me fruit for?
That's what I'm saying.
I
The
just like
whole
old
thing,
fashioned.
the whole thing that the Midwest. I'm arguing on this. I'm fighting on the battlefield that you picked out.
You know what he's fighting for? I'll be real. You're fighting for respectability politics.
I'm fighting for things to mean what they say they mean.
Okay, but I'm asking you, what's more old fashioned? Oh my God, I'm going to slowly cut. No, somebody comes in, hey, barkeep,
An old
barmaid.
That's oh wait, no, cut time out. You're the one who's like an old fashioned needs orange. I disagree.
It doesn't need orange.
An old fashioned does not even need
I agree with
any
that.
sort of citrus.
I agree with
It
that.
needs bitters, a sweetener, and whiskey.
And I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna ask you a question.
Point blank.
Tell me I'm not wrong. Tell me I'm not bugging out. Yes, but if you are a person in a bar in 1780s, 1836, you go to a bar and you go, "Can I get one of those drinks there?" And they go, "Yeah, I'll give you some whiskey and I'll put a little sugar in it and these things here. I'll give it to you." And you go, "I'll put some water in it," because a lot of people, and you forget this, a lot of people don't like the strong flavor of alcohol, which is why I think
That's
the muddling
all
of the
well and
orange, the muddling of the orange.
That's terrific. That is not an old fashioned.
Maybe
That's I would
Kanye was right. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
I would put a rock and rye straight up of just like the rock candy and whiskey stirred a little bit. That is more akin to an old fashioned than if you were to put water or seltzer or actually okay, now wait a minute.
Oh, here he goes.
I might have to walk it back.
Oh, he
a little
goes.
bit.
Walk it back, ayy.
Because
walk it back, ayy. Walk it back, ayy.
A lot of the time, if you had sugar cubes and not rock candy, they would use either bitters or water to dissolve the sugar. But
First
it
of
would be
all-
like a couple of splashes. It's about an old fashioned here. Okay,
You're just mad because
No,
in the
no, no,
Midwest
no.
they take the
No, no,
gun
no, no,
and they
no.
hit it on the top with the seltzer water.
this is what I'm getting at. The heart of it is an old fashioned. An old fashioned is designed to be a pedestal for the whiskey. Okay? And once you splash a gun of soda water in it, it is no longer a pedestal. It is a trophy case.
Lottie fucking dot. This guy over here thinks that people back then.
And here's
We're
the difference between
fucking doing it. Come
Here's
on.
the difference between a pedestal and a trophy case. A trophy case has all of the trophies. A pedestal highlights one thing.
The difference as a trophy
Highlights
case is
it.
things you earn, and the pedestals what I put you on, but you might not actually deserve it.
Wow.
Oh,
Never have I ever been so dismayed and complimented at the same time.
never have I ever dismayed somebody and complimented them at the same time.
So if we were to improve upon this right now, because we used Knob Creek bourbon in this, which admittedly, not my favorite
I'm be
bourbon.
honest, I think it works though.
I think it all blends together. I personally, this guy, Chandler, right here, if we're using a New York made Amaro,
Oh, I got you.
I want to use a New York made whiskey.
Okay, I think I would love Hudson the corn, the blue one. I like that one.
Hudson.
Yeah. The fucking what the fuck is it called? What the fuck is it? The fuck is isn't it
No. You're
Brooklyn
thinking,
77 also?
you're thinking of Brooklyn 70, or you're thinking of
No,
Balcones.
Hudson. I'm thinking of Hudson. What is it? What the fuck? They come in the short bottles.
The square ones?
Yeah, we did
The
an
square
episode
ones
about
or
this.
the
It's kind of like
You're thinking of Balcones.
no, I'm not. You don't remember. I remember only because the place named Allergy Doctor used to have them.
We did because they did the specialty one with the
Yes,
Mets.
they have.
right?
Yes, they have the Mets one. They have blue corn one. They had the one with the yellow label, right? But also, I think that Brooklyn
Yeah.
77. I don't know if they even.
They did a baby bourbon, but they're-
Yes,
Oh no, but I think what I'm confusing, based on your confusing, is the blue corn one is Balcones Baby Blue,
yes,
And-
I did confuse that.
and that is different than the baby bourbon that
Yes.
Hudson does.
Yes,
But
and
is
also, what's the other place? The one that you got me for my birthday that time with the skinny bottle.
Oh, Widow Jane.
Baby Jane. The
Oh,
Widow
the
Jane.
Baby
Jane.
Jane.
I like. So here's the thing, though.
They use an heirloom corn.
They do. It sucks though because I think one of my big issues is that when I make cocktails and I'm drinking cocktails, maybe because I've had less privilege than you, I like to highlight stuff that's more affordable because I think that while I love this and this is affordable, I think that grabbing any Amaro off the shelf, any Aperol, grabbing an affordable but not the cheapest whiskey, as well as not even fresh, even though you can do fresh lemon really easily for this, I think that's elevated. I think there's something fucking special about that.
You know what I think would rock well with this, given all of what you just said?
What?
The New York Distilling Company rock and rye whiskey. They also do Jaywalk. That is pretty fantastic. But
Jaywalk.
to
Yeah.
bring it all back around, they also do their rock and rye. Like they're the ones who do it.
We should do a rock and rye episode where we make a rock and rye. Because I feel like we might have done that.
Because we can get the
audio only.
we can get the Mr. Cats. We can get the slow and low.
And we can make our own.
It is kind of crazy how many. Okay, I think the real question that's on my mind that I want to know from you is when we do eventually make our fantasy distillery, are we gonna make Amaros?
Yes. Also, fantasy. I told strangers on the internet today that it's happening.
Oh shit! Then
I
that has
told
to
them-
happen.
I told them that we're already looking at land. We're gonna buy land. I'm building a house with my mother. You're building a house. You can decide what you want to do with your house. When you build a little house for your family.
Right. Are you
A little
gonna
guest
do it
house for
in New York
Mason.
or like,
No, we can go
what's-
wherever. We can go wherever.
Okay.
My mother just needs to be with me. My mother, because we have no family. So that's the whole thing. So she's
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
with me wherever. I don't care as long as we can take her with me.
And I got so much family and extended family that your mother will never feel unalone.
God, she fucking needs that. I mean, yeah, that'd be good.
I
We're
got,
lonely. We ain't got no family.
dude,
Look at
between
this guy.
between
Privilege.
me, the family, and the boys,
The
boys,
The
the boys. We'll make sure.
Spanish.
We'll have a good time.
We'll
But-
have a great time.
It is kind of weird to me how an Amaro that is like kind of by definition kind of needs to be in Italy. We have a New York Amaro, and I don't know how to feel about that.
It's not champagne. That's why. It's the kind of thing where, like champagne comes from champagne. They have champagne grapes in the U.S., but they aren't champagne. Right? Kentucky bourbon is made in Ireland.
What
we
if-
had the Kilbeggan before, which is effectively an Irish was a bourbon made in Ireland, kind of in the open style. So they made it in their distillery where it's kind of open, and they used the Irish corn, but they made it the same way.
What if we bought land in Champaign, Illinois, grew champagne grapes there? Could we still call it champagne?
Somebody's thought of that.
Somebody's thought of that. Damn.
You still have that.
That's I'm
It's
enjoying. I'm imbibing.
It's
fuck,
time.
We gotta throw it back.
It's time. We have to do time because he makes Behind the Bar go longer than it is. He makes the tasting table go longer than it is. I'm pointing the fingers. He's making Was It in Good Taste go longer than it is.
I just got so much to say.
Was It in Good Taste is 1 hour. Behind the Bar is a half an hour. The tasting table is 15 minutes. But this guy.
And that's all she wrote.